past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. No blind, out of sight and out of mind. No standing still. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
Are we here now? Are we, Jace? Are we all good? Are we all live? Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the latest Elite FPL stream with myself, Jason, of course, a special host. You know him as FPL Tactician. We all know also as Andy Martin. Hello, Andy, mate.
Hello, Steve-O. Evening, mate.
Hello, Andy.
Up the Lionesses. Up the Lionesses.
Well done to the Lionesses. Massive shout out to them. Very good game of football. Germany was very formidable opponents, and yeah, great 2 goals from England, I can say, and Germany, all goals, all fine goals, and showing the men how it's done, definitely.
Exactly right.
Hello to everybody in the chat. I hope you're doing really well. I'll pin out some of your comments shortly as we go through. I'm
going to do my top button up because I've just seen myself on screen.
Jason is so much more louder on his microphone than Andy and Steve-O. I'll turn myself down. It's right. It's fine. Fucking complaints already, Steve-O. Barely on the stream for like 30 seconds. I got someone moaning and whinging in the chat.
That's a member saying that. You know?
Who is it?
Cage Paps.
Let's have a look. Let's go. Here we go. Let's pin that one, shall we? Let's pin that Moni comment at the top so everyone can see it. There you go, Cage Pats. Is this bullying? I'm not sure. There we go.
Slightly.
Oh no, that's not it. That's not Cage Paps. He wasn't the one moaning, was he? Surely not.
Yeah,
He was. Jason's much louder than Steve and Andy. I'm only joking, Cage Paps. Fine. Do you like my brown football kit that I've got as my FPL kit? Did you know that, Andy?
Yeah, I can see it on there.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had it.
Do you want to know why it's brown?
Yeah, please.
Because that's what my chat think of my team. Yeah.
Well, we all laugh, Jace. But as I keep saying, when you're top of the rivals league. Actually, do you know what, Andy? We'll start off with we were just having a perfectly pleasant conversation beforehand, and then when we're live, I'll ask you this one question straight away. Let's make it formal.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Do you actually have any mini leagues that you take genuinely really seriously, like we do with the rivals league and Torbay Elite and everything? Do you have any mini leagues that you do which you genuinely are like, no, this is the be all and end all? If I win this or if I do really well in it, I'm actually overjoyed.
There is 3 leagues that I'm like look to, probably 4 leagues actually. So I take mini leagues quite seriously. The Planet FPL Correspondence League is a good competitive league.
You mean the one that you won?
The one that I won. I mean, I won most leagues, Steve-o, so come on.
That bit where you said on the, sorry to interject, that bit where you said on the podcast to James the other day, you basically went, can we talk about the Kevin De Bruyne triple captaincy? I'm not going to lie. The second you said that, I went, I captain him as well. So, because we were part of that brilliant. It was, I can't swear, can I? It was fantastic. That space that happened after that Kevin De Bruyne hat trick or whatever it was now. In fact, what was it again, Andy? Remind the audience.
The Kevin De Bruyne 4 goals and assist.
It was a 4 goals and assists. And there was a space that was held. And Mark Southerns was there. And it was, honestly, it was amazing. There was like 400 people or something like that listening in. And I was just lying in my bed after we'd done a stream. And you, FPL Rhino, and Luke and Mark were having this fantastic conversation. I mean, I'll let you gloat about it. That was one hell of a moment last year.
It was incredible. I mean, it's one of the FPL moments you never forget. I mean, it's probably the best FPL moment, right? You just don't expect it. And I felt hard done by on the first game on the Sunday against Newcastle. I had a couple of days where I was thinking, look at that, Kevin De Bruyne. He's only got, I think it was 4 points in the first game. 4 or 5 points.
Did he get a yellow card in that game?
He got a yellow card, and that took his bonus down by 2 as well. So even the yellow card, it was like 12 points or something ridiculous that it cost me. So I was fuming with that. But to get to the Wednesday night, and then I was watching Leeds Chelsea, but following it on my phone, and it was the first half. It was just goal, goal, goal. Every time I checked my phone, it was Kevin De Bruyne, goal, hat trick, and then he got the 4th goal early on in the second half, and it's just, dreamland.
Just dreamland, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I remember
just floating with joy at that point.
Yeah. I remember Jason just saying to me, because I had to go to the bathroom quickly, and I came back, and Jason went, "You never know. You're never gonna know. You never know what's happened just now, Steve." And I went, "It can't be." And he went, "Have a look." And it was bizarre. And like you and like we all know, he could have scored more that night. He hit the post or something, and he put the ball slightly wide.
He was like a man possessed that night.
Yes. Yeah,
he hit the post, and he set up Foden, who hit the post, and then he also got booked as well, because there was I took a screenshot
late on in the game, wasn't it?
I took a screenshot. I was in 99 at one stage before the booking, and I was like, please, just something else to take over the 100 club on one player. Has that ever been done?
Isn't it funny, because we all play this game and like we all go, well, I'll be happy to take a goal. And then they score a goal and it goes, well, I want to get another goal. And it just goes on and on and on. It's the same with this Kevin De Bruyne.
Your expectations always get more and more.
Yeah.
You're 99 points and you're thinking, please get to 100. Then he gets booked and you're like, and you're throwing stuff around the room. Like,
you're getting angry. He's cost you I think that it's just a psychology of the game, isn't it? Like you're always trying to min-max everything. You want to get the maximum points from the minimum amount of effort in your team, to make the most perfect balanced team. And obviously, when you get something like that coming along, that's once in a in a blue moon you get a player that's banging in goals like that. It's like to get the yellow card. It's just like it's like a kick in the teeth, isn't it? Like because you kind of like you're floating on the high and you're seeing your points go up, and then the yellow card gets brandished. And you're like, oh, and it was just something stupid like kicking out when it was like it's a stupid tackle. It was like what just I think it was late on in the game if I'm not mistaken, and he just was trying to break up a play or something. But he never really gets yellow cards that much, does he?
No,
KDB?
and he got two in one game week.
Yeah, it's just mental.
If we no one's going to understand this reference other than me. That was the intro before the intro, as Jamie Jaster says, because there will be people on here, Andy, that let's get real here, may not know who you are.
Who are you?
Genuinely, because I know you from Planet FPL. You're their Leeds correspondent, and I'll be transparent.
I know you as Andy Martin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
fine.
To be transparent, I started following you on Twitter about I'm guessing 2 years ago now, when they did their usual annual correspondent week, and I thought, this is when you were promoted, wasn't it? And I thought, this guy speaks really, really well, and he knows a lot about his club, very, very knowledgeable, has a good rapport with James and Serge. And I'm thinking, yeah, what a nice guy and everything. And then I followed you on Twitter, and you were putting up these Elmo pictures and these funny visions of your face, which are just absolutely hilarious. And then you started occasionally popping into our streams. And then one day you came into the Discord. You were going to be talking about Wolves versus Leeds. Your internet cut out or something. And then since then, we've had like a rapport ever since. So tell the audience, who is Andy Martin? You're a Twitter celebrity in the FPL community.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm a Twitter celebrity because lots of people follow me. I don't see myself as that at all. So, like everyone, I'm just a normal guy. But I guess my passion for FPL.
Wait, hang on a minute. What you're trying to say? You don't let it get to your head? That's rare.
Apart from being recognised in the street, then that happens. But
wow, I've never had that myself.
I think my large following just comes from just thinking and talking about FPL. Yeah, that as well. But also just all the time FPL chat. I just love it. So I'm enthusiastic about it. I want to chat to everyone about it. I don't take myself too seriously.
Because you are very active on Twitter, and we don't need to delve, unless you're happy to do so. We don't need to delve deep into what your job is and everything, but it does allow you to be able to use Twitter on a regular basis and to be part of the spaces as well. Yeah.
So you can do. I work for Bournemouth Council down on the seafront, working as a beach ranger / council worker. Which is fine for the rest of the year, apart from August when it's absolutely rammed. So the rest of the year, apart from August, I can sit around drinking tea, being on spaces, while the beach is empty. And then
so the beginning of the season, then you're obviously dealing with lots of beachgoers, and you're kind of trying to keep up to date what's going on with the games, or you?
Yeah, pretty much. So through August, I'm just working 6 days a week, like 10 hours a day, pretty much.
Wow.
So then, come October time, I've got 3 weeks off in October, a couple of weeks off in November, just because it's just so full on this month. So yeah. So I do have time, a lot of time in the season, but not at the start of the season, perhaps. It
doesn't sound like a bad job, though, to be honest.
Yeah,
down the beach,
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, but I bet it's especially if you like to socialise. I suppose it's quite cool to just chat with people.
Exactly.
Who are generally in good spirits because they're down on the beach. So
exactly. Generally in good spirits.
Generally in good spirits, unless they've got to moan about something. Some people don't they?
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm active on Twitter a lot. I'd be able to do that through my job.
Cool.
3 times off. Yeah, but
I mentioned spaces beforehand, and I know Jason's a fan of it when it comes to Bitcoin. You're a big advocate of the spaces, aren't you? And what do you think about that new feature for Twitter?
Brilliant. It's amazing to talk to people. I'd rather talk to people than type to people.
Yeah.
As you would as well, probably, Steve, right?
Well, we were going to do spaces at one point. We were going to do spaces alongside doing streams and just have like me and Steve-O and whoever's coming up and do our live, maybe do some of our call-ins on spaces and just get people coming up. But we just, I don't know. Why didn't we do that in the end, Steve?
It's because you're doing a great job in here, guys. I really think.
Yeah, I think
I love this channel.
I think I think the Discord is good for that.
Yeah, I love just popping in whenever you're live, just popping in, seeing what you're chatting about.
The Office.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. Do you know, can I just say as well, my favourite line, and I use it at work a lot of the time as well, chatting to colleagues, when you're talking drivel to someone, and I use the line a lot to friends at work, when you're taking a sip of drink and you go, might be courage, actually. That's my favourite line. That is my favourite line in the office. Because you just like, oh, what can we talk about? And you're like, oh yeah, might be courage, actually.
Mate, I must quote that show 100 times a day. I work in retail. I'm not going to tell you directly where I work, but I work in retail. And it's in a very central part of London. And the amount of times I must quote The Office about various situations. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. Yeah. But it's ruined me. I know Flapjack, Rich, he interacts with us occasionally regarding Office quotes. And a lot of the time, like whenever I'm watching Planet FPL, there's so many moments that there's an Office quote that needs to be cut up and added.
I've seen you clip them. I've seen you clip them, Steve. Yeah.
It's mad. And the show, has the show ruined your life?
It earlier when it came out, I think I was like David Brent all the time. So like going around going, well, is it like you're looking at through when you should be, and just all the time, all the time, general life. But I think as I've got older, yeah, perhaps not.
It's more extras for me. Extras is another one which has just destroyed me. Yeah. There's so many moments in that which like I just relate so much with life. But I mean, like I said, I could be here all day talking the Office or extras.
Steve, I just don't get this. Well, the contestants run up the stairs to not the game show.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Jason's more of an American Office fan.
The American Office more, unfortunately. So I'm the odd one out on this panel. It would seem. I want to just say hello to the people in chat, to be honest, because they've been saying a few things, been reacting to some of the things that you're talking about. Something about, do I look on fire in the booth? I don't know what that means. Like, I've been out in the sun a bit today, but no, I don't look on fire. I mean, anyway, someone saying, Andy, come in on Discord Hangouts. One Life Soccer TV says it's where the real hardcore FPL guys get deep with chat. He's referring to our Discord on the Hangouts on voice. He's inviting you to jump in whenever you're free. They do spend a large part of their day at the moment just on Hangouts, probably just talking about team combinations and strategy and what they had for dinner. But
I'll definitely check in with that. Yeah.
Simon Bellamy's in the chat. There's Simon. Triple Spurs, triple Leicester, double Liverpool makes up most of my team. Well, he's not going to start strong, is he?
Are we all sleeping on Leicester? That is
triple Leicester. I wouldn't go triple Leicester.
They got some good prices though. I think.
So United.
Pereira for one is underpriced. I think he could be very good.
Let's get.
Where do you expect Leicester to finish at the end of the season, though? Let's be honest.
I think without European football, 7th, 8th.
Steve-O?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with Andy.
Top half.
They are going to be challenging for top half, you'd like to think. I don't know what the news is on Schmeichel, whether he is actually going to be leaving or not. If he does, that is a major component to their success. I think that he does an excellent job for Leicester, pulls out some wonder saves, has done the odd penalty save here or there. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that everything's down to Schmeichel for their success, but certainly a lot of it is down to the reason why they do pretty well. Their attacking front 3-4 is phenomenal. I mean, I was listening.
They're not going to get 5th place, Rad. Sorry, mate.
No. They're not going to get anywhere near 5th, but certainly their front 3 or 4 is one of the best in the Premier League. It's just, unfortunately, they just can't get enough goals to be challenging the likes of United.
James Bennett says Leicester will have a good season, but definitely waiting till after the first few game weeks, as their early fixtures are just too hard. I imagine good assets will emerge from Leicester as the season goes on. Yes, as a lot of people are going to be doing early wildcards, it could be a case of picking up on Leicester players if they do start the season well. Certainly getting over those difficult fixtures early on. But Andy, do you want to spend a moment to post your team in the...
Well, I'll do it, because if Andy can't jump into Discord... Do you want to tell actually the audience what we're going to be doing with Discord tonight, Jace, while I go and screenshot Andy's team?
What we're going to do?
You're going to get my last draft up, yes.
What we're going to do with Discord?
Yeah.
I know what we're doing with Discord.
As in, we're going to get callers on, but we're going to relay the questions to Andy.
Oh, right. Guys, we're going to get the callers on, but we're going to relay the questions to Andy.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Well, I told him what we're doing, Steve-O. Hello Flying Pigs, hello Simic, hello Firetog, hello Harry, how's it going? Ginger's there too, Dread, Dan.
Well, Dan's in your neck of the woods, Andy. He's in Bournemouth.
He's
just
Dan,
moved there.
Let's go for a drink, Dan. I'm always up for a chat. I'm in...
Go down to the pier.
Yeah, I'll come to the pier arcade. I'll be out the front or inside, so more than welcome.
I only see one person in the waiting room at the moment, so obviously...
It's all right. If you discuss Andy's team, I've just posted the team screenshots, and Andy can go through his team, because let's get real here, Andy. We've entitled the stream No-Salah, because you're one of the first people that kind of came out publicly, so to speak.
Well, hang on. When was that?
Pretty much when the game launched.
That's pretty much when I said it.
Well, no, this is what I was going to link into. I was going to say because you two will get on, because both of you are part of the No-Salah brigade, and you must be a bit worried after that performance yesterday, which we haven't even spoken about. Forget the women's Euros, forget all that. We want to talk about the Community Shield.
Oh, it's only a tiny little poxy charity event.
I mean, if you look at what Salah did yesterday, I mean, yeah, he looks okay. The assist was a hockey assist, and obviously Salah's a pen merchant, gets a pen. I know he can do that anytime, but for me, it's still 13 million. And for me, the main reason is the City Spurs rotation on captaincy, and also having the third Liverpool asset, whichever asset that may be, compared to others, offers better value than Salah.
Not been tempted by Nunes.
Not really, not particularly at this stage. I think
he looks really good.
Yeah,
Charity Shield, to be fair, a real poacher, to be honest, and I think he's gonna get goals. Was he 9 million? Is he?
Well, I think you're going to get goals if you play for Liverpool in the front three, aren't you?
Yes, but I like, compared to Firmino, he's a different type of player. He's more of he really is a poacher. He's like one that will get his head on the ball. Whereas Firmino used to be more of a team, sort of held up the ball for Salah and Mane, fed them through an attack, where I think he will literally be in the 6-yard box, just tapping in, crosses galore, I think, from both sides. I like the look of him, and I know a lot of people in the chat were talking about him. Is he the bandwagon pick?
What, just because of yesterday?
Well, yeah.
It shouldn't be one game against.
It shouldn't be, but I mean, we're seeing a lot of people talking. Is it just a bandwagon, or do you think that is he on? Where is he on your radar right now, Andy? Is he sort of like a maybe or not yet?
I would say he's probably behind Diaz,
really?
A lot of the defenders for me. If I was going to go 3 Liverpool, Diaz would maybe be Nunes would be. So
you'd rather go with Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Diaz than Alexander-Arnold, Diaz, Nunes, for example?
I think so. Yeah. Still.
Yeah. And okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so you get the value in the defenders right there, the fullback.
I'd even rather Van Dijk as a third option than Nunes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of that, chat? Feel free.
I just think with the minutes wise as well. I think you can near enough say that Van Dijk's going to get 180 to 200 points for 6.5 million.
Yeah, well, this is the point that actually Maley makes a point here. Nunes will eat points from Diaz and Salah. What's your thoughts on that? Does that make Salah less attractive?
I would say the fact you've got different options at Liverpool.
I mean, you're still not gonna worry if it's an assist, right? Like if he's getting assists and he's got someone putting the ball in the back of the net, Salah. If he's not the one scoring, if he's getting the assist, it's pretty much just as good, isn't it?
True.
I mean, to answer the question, but I mean, you've not got Salah in your team, so I was wondering if that may have played into that decision, or was it just literally the 13 million, like you said?
The main decision for me is I look at the Spurs fixtures and look how Spurs have been under Conte, and worry that I'm not going to have a Kane or Son in my team. Mm-hmm. That gives me more fear than not having Salah.
Yeah.
I look at the first 4 game weeks, and I'm only looking short term. It's only first 4 game weeks, and I just think Spurs can start like a rocket. And I've still got an alternative, not in this draft because it's the first time I've actually taken Robertson out, but I'm still pretty sure I probably would go for 3 Liverpool as an alternative 3 to Salah.
I'm going to do a poll. Sorry, carry on.
Just because as well, if you have Salah for 13 million, you're almost like obliged to captain him as well because of the price, because he is Mo Salah. Where you don't have Salah, I think you can mix it around based on
factors,
on fixtures. And if you're not captaining Salah and he's 13 million in your team, the value isn't there compared to other Liverpool assets. So if you haven't, the value in Salah is if you captain him and you get the points that way. If you've got 13 million Salah and you're not captaining him, then there's no point in having him because you've got other assets who are better value. And Nunes, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent, Diaz are all better value if you don't captain Salah the whole time.
I'm going to do a poll in the chat. Who will get more points in the first 4 game weeks? Haaland or Salah? I'll let it run for a little bit.
That's not even a question. I'd be more Kevin De Bruyne or Salah.
Well, I can add. I don't think I can edit it now, but I've done that poll. And if we get an interesting result, we may add Kevin De Bruyne into the mix also.
Because yesterday's match, I'm not going to pretend I'm going to be going with Salah game week 1. I'm happy with it. I don't really care. But Kevin De Bruyne is somebody that looks absolutely on fire at the moment, to the point of where I think this season he could be beating Salah for points, especially if he's going to be playing the role that he has been for the last few friendlies. Haaland yesterday, he looked a bit rusty. I know Dan was messaging me saying, and then I saw a lot of it on Twitter, him being like a blonde version of Andy Carroll. It's a bit of a joke, but what was key to me, and I always say this about it's the human psychology behind anything and his body language. When he missed that effort in the last minute
at the bar,
he didn't turn in Haaland. Yeah, he didn't turn around and be like really angry and pissed off. He smiled. He was just like, typical. I know that I'm a world-class striker here. I know I'm not going to be missing chances like that at all. But it's the way City were trying to fit around him. Whereas Kevin De Bruyne...
Does Haaland suit City's style of play?
I think he does. He was making some beautiful runs. I was watching him really carefully. He was making some beautiful dashing runs. His speed is phenomenal. But what Haaland was doing was taking away other defenders and leaving space for, for instance...
his positioning and runs are brilliant.
His pace that I saw yesterday was just so quick. And I was thinking, bloody hell, man, when he is going to be set loose, he's going to have that ability to be able to run fast enough to get ahead of the defenders and everything. And I think that for me now, I'm going to have to go in begrudgingly with Kane in game week 1. I can't stand, whether you know this, Andy, or not, I can't stand Kane. But I think that, and like you quite rightly said, under Conte this season, Tottenham are going to be a different animal. You're going to have Son, Kulusevski and Kane up front. Game week 1 against Southampton, I'm going 2-3-0. You'd like to think Kane's going to get involved. Haaland, on the other hand, like I say, he's looking a tiny bit rusty. He's going to start against West Ham. We know this.
Yeah.
And then
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, then against Bournemouth, it is going to be, do I have the cojones to then swap Kane to Haaland and then captain Haaland? Or will I then think to myself, actually, to hell with it, I'm going to get rid of Salah, which I won't do, but get rid of Salah and bring in Kevin De Bruyne and captain Kevin De Bruyne against Bournemouth. But I don't want to be doing this, Andy. I want to be going into the season where my first team...
Hang on. I'm sorry to interrupt, but Paulie's just gifted 5 Playmaker memberships to Rad, FPL Ginge, Dazid316, Redden Lita, and Tushar Shandila. So Paulie's just given out 5 Playmaker memberships to those people. So Paulie,
very nice.
Fair enough, and congratulations to all of the Playmakers that have just joined. How
long does that last then? This just a month?
For the month, yeah.
Oh wow,
That's
this whole gifted? I didn't even realise you could do this on here.
Well, I do now. I didn't know that you could do that either, but it would seem that you can gift other people memberships. So thank you, Paulie, and sorry to interrupt you guys, but I just wanted to kind of address it as it happened. Carry on.
No, I was just saying that I just think that I don't want to be going to the season going, oh God, I need to transfer in game week 2. I want to be able to have by game week 3 2 free transfers, and I kind of am somehow trying to see how I can fit Kevin De Bruyne in my team for game week 1.
Steve, what do you think about Cancelo captain game week 2?
One second. Cage Paps is now gifted 10 memberships to 10 people.
These people are you don't get into the members league because of 1 month. I don't want to put water on the fire or whatever it is, but these but that is incredible.
This is so PK7HS66 KDB17 Madeline Tudor, remember him or her?
Yes. Yeah.
Madeline Tudor, and it doesn't scroll down any further than that, but I'll be able to read them out as they pop up. So thank you ever so much, Cage Paps, for doing that.
Blimey,
Dan Bull! Dan's got one! Welcome to the membership, Dan. I'm going to read them out as they pop up. Is that it?
I did it for the annoying notifications.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You were asking just then, Cancelo game week 2 captain, Andy. Not for me.
You don't think?
Not for me. I mean, this is just me. I can't stand captaining defenders unless it's a push in a double game week. But mate, I'm rubbish at fantasy football, so give us the reasoning as to why you're saying that, and I'm assuming you're potentially going to do it.
I mean, if I'm going to go for Son and Kane, I'm going to keep 3 Chelsea because I don't think it's a fixture that worries me too much. I still back Spurs to score against Chelsea. And if Spurs score, Son and Kane are normally involved. So if you can get a goal and assist from Son and Kane, brilliant. But I think game week 2 at home to Bournemouth, you'd bank that clean sheet all day long. Yeah. With Cancelo attacking against a Bournemouth that we sat in their own half, it's going to see a lot of the ball. If he can get a return, the way Cancelo's bonus is, all of a sudden it's 12 points if he's got an assist, 15 if he gets a goal. And I think that's the kind of way it feels a floor of 6, but a ceiling of 15 to 20. It feels safe to back the Man City clean sheet game week 2 as like not a blank captaincy choice.
Yeah, Kane and Son are against.
How much is Martinelli again? Sorry, how much is Martinelli?
6 million.
Would you not prefer to play Perisic and take Martinelli out for say 4.5?
I still worry about Perisic's minutes with
he's a quality player, though, isn't he?
He's guaranteed to start, though. He's guaranteed to start, Andy. It's more the fact of when he gets taken off.
Well, you think he'd play 60, wouldn't you?
Yeah, minimum. You'd like to think.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. Is it really a bad thing seeing your defender go off if Spurs are 1-0 and it's 65 minutes played? You'd be like, I'll take the clean sheet. Thank you very much.
I don't know. Perisic's still getting up to speed. If game week 1, they're 3-0 up against Southampton, 55 minutes. Okay,
oh my God, yeah.
Perisic for Sessegnon. Do 3 subs. We're 3-0 up. Get the guys who aren't up to speed yet, get them off.
Well, this is what's going to be happening all this year. I've been saying all along, everybody keeps banging on about rotation. It's not the rotation you've got to worry about. It's about the substitutions. All your players, all these players that we've got up on screen, they're virtually guaranteed to start, depending on the opposition. I get all that, but within reason, most teams are going to be playing first team. However, it's when do they want to substitute? As Andy's just said about Southampton losing 3-0. Yeah, I can take off X, Y, and Z players. Same in Man City. They're 4-0 up against Bournemouth at half-time. Well, I don't need to keep Haaland on the pitch. He's got his 2 goals. Take him off at half-time. These are the things that we've got to be more a bit worried about. But the reality of the situation is that if these are guaranteed starters in your team, looking at your team here, the only player that I think is at risk of rotation is Martinelli.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. But he's 6 million. If he gets 1 point, it's 6 million. I know it's not ideal, but it's only 6 million of your budget, right?
No. You're completely. I mean, this team in front of me. For anybody listening in an audio, if they're walking about and they're just listening in, we've got Meslier in goal, Diaz, Trent, Cancelo, Neto, Martinelli, Saka, Diaz, Son, and then Kane and Wilson up top. How many of these players are pretty much nailed to be in your game week 1 team?
In truth, probably 2. I mean, it feels close, but I would say that it's still quite far away. There's certain price points that I could easily flip. I'd say Trent and Cancelo are the 2 that are going to be in game week 1. I just don't want to go out without those guys. I think they're for me the best 2 assets in the game because of their price and their reliability of points.
With your going back to the question I asked earlier about mini leagues that you take seriously, with your presence on Twitter and stuff, and you update your teams and everything on a regular basis, and that's just during the season itself. Do you not worry about your rivals copying you? Because I've noticed, like with our specific mini league, the Rivals League.
I just don't think you need Martinelli personally.
Well, he's a key component to Arsenal. There's a bit of rotation risk there, but I think he starts the season versus Crystal Palace. We all know the skill level he has to attack down that left-hand side and then cutting in, and then he's got all the tricks and bolts, so to speak, to be spinning around and everything and getting it into the box to say Jesus and Saka, Odegaard. I think for 6 million, it's a steal. I mean, I'm personally going with Lingard, but
I mean that's big. That's a big call.
Well, he's going to be the main man in Nottingham Forest. And
if you keep Lingard in your team more than 8 weeks, I'll give you my Lingard shirt.
Well, I don't know about 8 weeks. I'm like Andy. I'm looking at the first 3 to 4 game weeks, seeing how it's all going. And if, for instance, Nottingham Forest, there's always one team from the promoted teams that always does well at the start of the season. Me personally think it's going to be Nottingham Forest, and Lingard's going to be everything for them. I think he's got a point to prove. I think that the fact that the World Cup's happening in November, December time, he's going to want to be trying to get into that England squad. And if he can do as well as he did at West Ham for Nottingham Forest, I think Gareth, not that I'm an England fan or anything, I couldn't care less about him, but I think that Lingard and Southgate are going to be like, you know what, I'm going to have to pick this guy because he's gone and scored in the first 16 game weeks. He scored 5 goals, got 3 assists. He's looking absolutely hungry. He's looking absolutely pinnacle to everything Nottingham Forest can do. And I think I could potentially fit him in to the England setup.
How much is Kulusevski?
8 million.
8.
What have you thought about going Jesus instead of Kane and having Kulusevski instead of Martinelli?
The reason, I mean, this morning I put Kane and Son in the draft is I am so fearful of picking the wrong Spurs premium and the other one hauling.
But then you're going to have one of them not captained. So is that an effective use of funds?
Perhaps
going on your Salah theory, which I agree with.
Yeah, perhaps not. I think game week 1 for me.
Whereas if you had
Southampton at home-
Jesus and Kulusevski, it makes your decision a little bit easier with that Tottenham pick as captain.
So you'd go for just one Spurs premium, just captain the whole time.
Well, it takes the headache. It just takes the headache off of you, doesn't it? That's the only reason I bring it up, because your team looks brilliant. Your team looks fine. Martinelli is just a nitpick, but and I don't want to mention Neto. He's just there because of funds. But the headache of choosing between Son and Kane, could be frustrating to say the least. So that's the reason I brought it up. You might consider doing Jesus and Kulusevski instead of Martinelli and Kane. And
I actually think you're quite right on that. If you can believe in captaining one of the Spurs assets, the premium asset, you can actually put 4 or 5, 8 million assets in his team.
That's what I'm doing.
And have the one premium.
That's what I'm doing.
I like that a lot. I've looked at drafts where it's just Kane, and then you've got Jesus, you've got 3 other 8 million mids because the value's there. And if you're happy to captain, are you going Kane as a premium?
Come on, Jace, tell me.
I'm going to have a midfield of 8 million. So I'm going to give you that much.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair.
So,
and I've done that draft of 4 8 million mids as well.
Yeah. That's I look at that as I look at that as the best value personally. I mean, it's obviously it's crystal. Yeah, we ain't got a crystal ball, but I just think that the versatility and the flexibility it gives you as well at that 8 million price point. You don't need to have 2 premiums in your team. You don't need to have Mohamed Salah, and you can certainly pivot with those players. And I mean, it's just a consideration really.
Yeah, and I would lean that way if I wasn't so fearful that if I pick Kane or if I pick Son, the other one goes off.
Yeah,
I've considered both all summer. Do I start with Kane and then go for 8 million mids, or do I go for Son and then just pick Jesus up top? And then I'm thinking, if I go Son, captain Son, and Kane gets a hat trick, that for me is the worst pain in game week 1, because I trust Spurs and Conte so much.
Yeah,
that I'm fearful of the other one, and I think that's why I'm now drawn to this draft. Even though perhaps the value isn't there.
Would you have the money to ditch Neto and get in someone like Dalot, Perisic, even Trippier or something, like someone else, like instead of Neto? Like, do you think that value as Neto playing up front against Leeds? I mean, the fixtures for Wolves, they're all right, they're okay, but I mean, Neto is. Do you think that there's a better value in defence instead of playing Neto?
Not in the early fixtures, not up until wildcard. I think Neto is going to be the main man for Wolves. I can see him getting regular 90 minutes. So at 5.5.
But is he a prolific goal scorer? Or is he like, what did he get?
Doesn't need to be, though. Doesn't need to be. If he gets a couple of goals in the first 4 games, which is very, very likely, playing up top for Wolves, I think that's better value probably than going a 5.5 mid at the start. I'm certainly, come wildcard,
better value than, say, some of the options. 5.5 in defence. You're looking at 2 seconds.
Not too many. I mean, there's Perisic.
Yeah, there is Perisic. What people going after? There we go. Yeah, Trippier is. Yeah, I mentioned Trippier. You've got Zinchenko, of course, as an option. Cucurella isn't going to Man City now, is he? I don't believe. Doesn't sound like it. What do you guys reckon?
I thought they cancelled the tour.
That's what I thought.
Like
Yeah. So yeah, you pretty much have got. Well, actually, there's one that stands out, but you've already got 2 City, and that's Kyle Walker. I think Kyle Walker's not a bad shout.
I don't know. Again, it's fine, but I'm not sure I'd lean that way. And also the fact, if I had another defender in there, I'd have to have another 0.5 million on the bench as well.
Right.
Because I've got 2 4.0 defenders on the bench, so I've put as much.
Oh, one of them, Nico Williams, surely.
Yeah, Nico Williams and Patterson.
So he's going to play.
But the fact is, I've just put 83.5 million into my first 11. Where if I get a fourth defender in, my 4.5 defender midfielder is then an extra 0.5 on the bench as well. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I understand what you mean. It's just you're just going to squeeze the most team value out of your team possible.
Yeah.
But I do think Perisic is a better pick than Neto. I genuinely do. I'd
like to see him get up to speed, and I think he will be. Come 4 or 5, Perisic up to speed, playing left wing back for Spurs.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. I that's fair enough. I mean, it could be someone you just switch out when your wildcard comes. And what are you going to do game week? What game week are you going to looking to do your wildcard in?
5, pretty much, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too long to wait then, really, is it? So to assess the players. No, I mean the team's pretty solid, to be fair. Similar to teams that we've had come up on the call in to Steve-O.
I was going to say, are you adamant on the 3-5-2 formation?
Quite adamant, yeah, because of the emergence of the 2 4.0s who look like they're going to start and get regular.
Who is? I know Patterson plays for Everton. That's about as much far as my knowledge goes. Who is he? Is he guaranteed to start for them?
Yeah, Scottish right back, because it's Coleman who's injured and ageing as well.
Yeah.
And Patterson has been playing in the friendlies, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he has been, and he got 2 assists in a recent friendly this week.
But it's Everton.
And I'm not.
McNeil scored, for crying out loud. I mean, that says it all in the friendly. I mean, Jesus Christ, the fact that McNeil, who hasn't scored for Burnley for God knows how many months, scores in a friendly against God knows who they were playing. And what was it, 4 or 5-0 to Everton? You know, there's more chance.
3-0, wasn't it?
3-0. There's more chance in the opening game against God knows who they're playing to be losing 3-0 than ever getting who are they playing first game? Yeah, Chelsea. Bloody hell! I mean, Everton are a sack of crap anyway. I can't stand them. They're going to be in the relegation.
You could do
fight again.
I was just thinking you could do Wilson. I mean, the thing is, you don't want to triple up on Arsenal, but Wilson in your team, you could go up to Jesus and squeeze money there from. Again, your midfield, but then I mean, I'm just thinking like Dalot, like 4.5 for Man United. You know, I'm just looking at ways that I would look at this team and sort of try and.
Yeah, I mean, there is always. I'm always someone that says, like, the value isn't defence. There's 4.5s, and
yeah,
all defenders have got great value. So you can. I mean,
Dalot starts for United, which I think he will, on the right hand side, behind Sancho on the overlap. I see there being points from Dalot.
But do you think that they're going to keep the clean sheet? They've got Brighton, Brentford, and Liverpool. First 3.
I think they'll keep clean. They'll keep the odd clean sheet. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think against the fixtures for United, starting off, obviously, we're talking about Brighton. Wouldn't put it past United to concede in that game just because it's United. Against Brentford, I think away from home, I think we could do right in that. We could get a clean sheet. Against Liverpool, no chance. Against Southampton, yeah, I think we could. So maybe 2 out of the 4 game weeks we'll get. Yeah, I mean, looking at it like that, yeah, it's not as attractive. But I actually think of Dalot more of a as an attacking threat that can swing the ball in. But yeah, I'm just thinking of options for the sake of thinking of options at this point because your team's fine. I'm just,
Yeah, I mean, the biggest concern is I haven't got the 3 highest owned players. Well, actually, I think Trent went above Haaland, so yeah, I haven't got Haaland, haven't got Salah, haven't got Jesus, so the 3 highly owned players. So, but I feel with this team, I've got the Arsenal cover. If Jesus does go off, I think Martinelli and Saka
would be in the points
fine
as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not bothered too much about not having Jesus. I like Wilson's fixture game week 1. I think he's always done well at the start of the season. If there's a Newcastle scorer, you'd back Wilson to be the scorer, right? And perhaps that does change. Wilson does change, but I think the game week 1 fixture, and very much looking short term. So I'm just attacking every game week until the wild card.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I mean, the fixtures of your team are perfectly fine. I mean, you being a Leeds fan, you got Meslier in goal. I mean,
yeah, that's a sentimental pick, really.
Save points.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get 1 clean sheet before I wild card,
yeah,
then the Meslier, that's kind of like a 9. That's kind of a 9-10 pointer, right? If he gets a clean sheet, because of that saves. And,
yeah, absolutely. Bonuses and he likes his saves. Does Meslier?
He does.
Wasn't it 2 when you first came up to the league? We had a caller on saying that Meslier is the next, Peter Schmeichel, David Seaman. He's going to be this amazing goalkeeper. I remember you, Jason, specifically laughing it off, and then Meslier got, I can't remember specifically, but he got a very high amount of points that first season, and then it was just last year where under what's his face? What was your manager called again? I keep forgetting. Bielsa. You were shipping goals for fun. We all know that. The question more is, how did he perform when Bielsa left under your new coach? How did he do then?
Oh, is he muted? Can we hear
How's
you?
it gone muted? It's gone muted. How's that happened?
I have no idea why it's muted. Stay tuned. Let's play the stay tuned.
Let's go through the comments, Jace, while
go on then.
He's trying to sort out his thing. So Stein, do you remember Stein, Jace?
Yeah.
Stein, he's here.
No, he's not. There he
How
is.
did he
Hello and good evenings.
How did he speak again? How did Stein speak? I'm trying to think. He had a bit of a London accent, didn't he? Fire Talk saying they were the 13th best defence under Marsh. Okay. GV saying this is not Andy's team anyway. So I think you should not spend too much time discussing it.
All right, and see you later, guys. Let's end the stream now. Fucking hell. Oh, come on, bore off, mate. So go and find someone else to.
Bailey saying.
I don't know. Why don't we just review everyone's team, Steve-O? Let's review everyone else's drafts. Let's be original.
Bailey, I'm assuming that's the same Bailey that's on Instagram. I don't see a problem with not having the three highest owned players. What matters is the players you own not getting the points. Yep, that is very true. Brighton have some really good, exciting super subs that have come in this season. Undov looks good, but in my opinion, Matoma and Enciso look even better. I'll do my usual line. Who? That was from FAH. Here's a question for you, Jace, from God. Matt Gaming. Uh-huh. Is that Andy? Is he back?
I don't know. Is he? No, he's not there yet.
Oh, sorry. Matt Gaming is saying, is St. Maximin a good option, or is there better players for his price, Jace?
St. Maximin is a punt. That's. I mean, it's there. I don't know what is he still midfielder? Is he?
He's a midfielder. Yeah, he's 6.5.
Rashford, Bailey. For that price point, he's not in my top 3 or 4 considerations at 6.5 personally. Martinelli, you got Rashford, Martinelli, Bailey. I mean, Steve-O talking about Lingard for Forest. Eriksen at 6.5. What's your thoughts on Eriksen?
Oh yeah, I said at the start.
What do you think? I mean, what a tempting price point, Christian Eriksen at 6.5.
Yeah, Eriksen, I said to join Spurs would be an amazing signing. The fact that he's gone to Man United, I'll tell you what, Jace, I think he could be the most overlooked player in the league for fantasy Premier League this year, because
Could be.
6.5 for one of the best assisters in the Premier League has ever seen. I think that he's certainly being overlooked, and I think that he could be pivotal to what Ten Hag wants.
Yeah, but it's where Fa in the chat makes a good point. Where is he going to play when Bruno's on the pitch?
They played together the other day, didn't they?
Yeah. But what system are we going to play in the Premier League? Is it going to be is he going to be on the double pivot with Bruno? Or is he going to be alongside Bruno? Where is he going to play? Is Bruno going to be pushed ahead of him? I don't know. I really don't know where they're going to play. And obviously have Fred as the holding midfielder behind them. I don't know. I think that it could be like what Milan Milik says. Eriksen is Bruno's sub potentially. I don't know. I honestly don't know. 4-2-3-1 switch to double eights in 4-3-3. Yeah, I mean it could definitely 100% 4-3-3 with them two playing side by side with Fred behind or McTominay behind. Or the 4-2-3-1. I like the 4-3-3 idea personally. 4-1-4-1 to accommodate the two. They could do, but I think that if they do that, they're going to leave themselves really exposed. That the centre back pairing is a 4-1-4-1 with Eriksen, who hasn't got pace anymore, and Bruno, who isn't very good at tracking back. I think a 4-1-4-1 could easily get exploited by most teams personally, and our defence does not deal well with being exposed. Are you back? Oh, hang on.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I need to change the camera because he's logged out and logged back in again.
The main thing is we can hear you, Andy. Just a quick from you, Andy. Someone said here, let's give him a name check. It could be a woman, you never know. GVVG said, "This is not Andy's team anyway. Let's not spend so much time over discussing it." What do you have to say to this individual?
I would say that this is my team, and
renowned for tinkering is what
we can't. Hold on a minute here. We can't hear Andy.
No, they can now. They can now.
Sorry, go on, Andy.
And I'm working really hard every day, tinkering away to try and get the most perfect team for Gameweek 1. So, yeah, in the morning with the porridge, tinkering away.
Well, here we go. Let's get on the caller, Jace. So, Andy, what I'll suggest to you to do is just on our video chat, you can mute yourself. And then what you may be able to do is just turn up the volume on your TV, be able to listen into what our callers have to say. And then, you'll be able to answer as we go along. I think Jace...
Karma Baby says they call you Andy Tinker and Martin. Is that
yeah, they do, yeah.
I'll take it. Fair enough, yeah.
Should we bring on
like the stream, guys? Says Dan in the chat. Yeah, guys, cool. like the stream. Let's quickly give you guys a mission, and that is to like the stream. We've got 53 likes. We've got so half of the people watching right now are too lazy to like the stream. So come on, otherwise I'm going to play the intro music again.
Good.
I've ended the poll. 107 votes. Salah won it 77% to 22% as the preferred pick to score more points in the first 4 game weeks. All right, are we bringing on?
I think Matwa Chick. I think
that's not how you say the name.
Well, we'll find out when we bring him on. Go on, James.
I would say it's Machozik.
Machozik, are you there? You just need to unmute your microphone.
It's Machozik.
You can bring up your team. Hello there.
Hello, guys.
Hey,
did I get your name right?
I didn't hear. Sorry.
Brilliant.
Machozik.
Yes, nice.
Hey, can I guess Polish, Latvian?
Yeah, Poland.
Polish. There we go. Straight in.
We don't recognise the name. Are you new to the channel or?
No, I was active 1 year ago. Then I have a little break. but I'm back again. I will be quite active on the channel, and I hope that this community will help me improve my team.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
Jak se máš?
Well, we got a special
Dziękuję,
guest.
dziękuję, dobrze.
Dobrze. Okay.
We've got a special guest with Andy. He's exceptionally good at the game. And what's your question? So your team up on screen is Sanchez, Trent, Cancelo, James, Dyer, Neto, Salah, Mount, Tony, Jesus, and Kane. A very good, respectable team. Well, what's the question you have for me and Jason and Andy?
Yeah, so I thought that this team is quite locked. Until 2 days ago, I decided to check what would be my team if I downgrade Tony to Greenwood and improve my defense and goalkeeper. And there is a second draft with Perisic, with Zinchenko, and with Ederson on the goal, without Tony. And I want to ask you, what do you think would be better? Because defense can deliver some assists, some clean sheets. Tony not always can score a goal, and I don't know what to do, to just stick with Tony or just improve my defense, because everyone else is locked.
So you're saying having Ederson in goal,
Perisic and Zinchenko,
and then you'd have Greenwood up front as a bench player. Oh, mate, that to me is an upgrade. I mean, having Ederson in goal as your double City defender, and then having Perisic as well to add to that 4 at the back. I mean, you've got Dyer already, though.
Yeah, I could improve him to Perisic, because I think that he's too good.
Stop saying Dallo, please.
Well, just trying to influence people. No, but the team is interesting. I mean, Tony to me is yeah. I wouldn't have him personally.
The fixtures are too good for me, because I think that Tony will be the main scorer for Brentford, right? So
yeah.
With these fixtures, it's difficult for me to just not go with him, and I don't know what to do.
I mean, feel free to pitch in here, Steve-O and Andy.
Well, yeah, and Andy, what are your thoughts on that situation regarding just basically take premium defenders over Tony?
I really like Tony as a talisman for Brentford. I've considered Tony at 7 million on pens. Again, I think with this 5 subs thing, I'm looking at players who are likely to get 90 minutes. Tony's that guy, right? You can hang your hat on Tony getting 80 plus minutes. And if the goals are going to come from Brentford, it didn't happen as much last season, but especially this season, I think that Tony is going to get perhaps 30% of Brentford goals. So I think at 7 million is a decent pick. When you compare him to someone like Robertson, it's not going to be as much. But when you have Robertson and Trent, you kind of leave it all season. If you have someone like Tony, you've got that price point to switch around to like Martial, Wilson, and over the course of a season, you can outscore the person like Robertson. You're going to be in the team the whole season. So yeah, I think Tony's a bad example when you compare it to premium defenders. You mentioned about Ederson as well. I don't like Ederson as a premium keeper.
Really? What is that? Because it's just the standard 6 points, no save points whatsoever. Just
it's like 6-2, 6-2, 6-2. There's more attacking potential with City defenders, and I think Ederson's ceiling is 6.
Carl Walker over Ederson.
Yeah, I could go with Walker too.
I'd say so. I think Walker's more points, cheaper price.
That's a fair point. Yeah, premium goalkeepers. I think that it's one of the big debates. Do you go with 3 up front, and have that sort of lower price point striker to go alongside Kane? And in your case, obviously Jesus, you could go like what Andy did and have Wilson, Tony, and Kane, and throw that money in anyway in your defense, and still have, because Wilson's similar, isn't he? He's going to play 90 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, and people miss the value on cheaper defenders. Someone like Dyer, again, reliable,
does the job.
Team. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
So how much less points is he going to get than the premium defenders? Not too much less, and it's fine. So.
You were just saying you weren't a fan of Edison, Andy. Roman Jarvis is saying, what's your thoughts on Mendy at Chelsea?
Better.
Yeah.
Better than Edison. I like Mendy at 5. It's surprising he's 5, right? Compared to others.
Yes, good entry into that Chelsea defence at 5.
Yeah, it is. And you expect Mendy to get more save points as well, wouldn't you? So a clean sheet for Chelsea, you kind of think maybe 7 or 8 for Mendy. Clean sheet for City, Edison's still 6.
He's going to be bystander for the majority of the game, isn't he, Edison, to be fair?
Exactly.
Matthew, apparently you're a regular in Discord, according to Gabriel de Rock.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I really like polls. I quite spam them a lot. Yes, time to time I just I'm on the Discord in the general.
Have you been invited to the Rivals League at all? Or?
I don't think so. I was in the H2H League last year. Did pretty good, but I don't think that I'm in the Rivals.
Oh, there we are, Gabriel de Rock. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, can I share one
luck,
personal thought with you, because
Please.
It's quite important to me. So last year I had some hard time in my university because I didn't pass my final exam in the university, and I was quite upset, and I didn't want to share my thoughts with my family yet. And I decided to write my feelings on this Discord because I was quite active last year. And I just want to thank everyone who helped me in that period, because I was quite, I felt terrible. And I want to thank you for this Discord, and I want to thank this community because they cheered me up. I didn't give up, and I want to say that 2 weeks ago I defended my bachelor degree, so it eventually ended up quite nice, and I want to say thank you for everything that helped me last year.
Oh, that's
awesome. I'm super happy that you got your bachelor degree, and the Discord is certainly a non-toxic, friendly place to be. We encourage that type of behavior here, and there's no coincidence that that's the sort of atmosphere that the Discord has garnished, essentially. I mean, other Discords, they allow everything, and they allow a lot of things to go out of hand, but we've always maintained a very sensible, grown-up Discord where people can have debates, discussions without being ridiculed. And like, for me, hearing that from you, that you got support from the people in the Discord.
Yeah, that was amazing. Really, I didn't know. I didn't have anyone to say it firstly, because I didn't want to confrontate myself with my family and friends. So this space was amazing to help me to overcome my bad feeling, and everyone really cheered me up and supported me, and I didn't give up. So yeah, that was really important to me, really.
Well done. Well done.
There's a lot of love in the chat as well for you.
Yeah, lots of people in the chat clapping, giving you love. I mean, and well done for overcoming it, because it's easy it's just similar to FPL in a way. Like you things aren't going your way. It's easy to get down, upset about things. Some things you just that are just outside of your control, and when it comes to your mindset, it's so important to have your mindset calm and
yes, exactly what you say,
and perspective, because like you could start off 2 or 3 game weeks in, and I'm just trying to give an example, and we all know there are going to be people that are going to be angry, they're going to be kicking themselves for making silly decisions, or they're going to be knee jerking. It's really important that you just keep your feet on the ground, and you start not getting, and having other people around that you can talk to as well, like, and reason with those people and say, well, these are the reasons why I did this, and
exactly, a discussion, and elegant discussion.
Yes, and I think that half of the battle of FPL is patience and your mindset of playing the game itself. Like, if you are impatient or you are impulsive or reckless, then the game will punish you for that. It will punish you. So, kind of steering the conversation more towards FPL. I'm so glad that the community was there for you when you needed them.
Yeah,
and that was awesome, man.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that with you.
Thank you,
and have a nice night.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that story with us, because that makes me happy. Like, it actually brings a smile to my face.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man.
That's what it's about as well, isn't it? Great, creating friends, being there for one another. Yeah. You got a great community.
We're all rivals at the end of the day. We all want to beat each other, but at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And we've all got our own lives that go on in the background. Sometimes people have a shit day, a shit week. And it's good to have a little place so you can just chill out and talk about stuff that isn't FPL, and that the Discord is there for everybody. There's no barriers in our Discord. And it's pretty cool.
You've actually spoken about it before, haven't you, Andy, regarding the mental health aspect to this and how you have made some genuine friends through FPL.
Yeah, exactly. I think the last year as well with Spaces, talking to people directly, and you've got the Discord channel that people just chatting directly. You get to see the person behind the avatar, and it just makes such a difference. I've seen in the last 12 months, this community has come on leaps and bounds. There used to be so much beef, so much arguing, so much hatred, but now when you're chatting to people and everyone gets to know the person behind the avatar, we're all the same kind of people, aren't we? We're competitive, yeah, sure. Sometimes the competitiveness can boil over. But at the end of the day, you shake people's hands and you go...
Yeah, it does. I mean, and that friendly rivalry is what almost makes the game more exciting. Like, if you're just playing the game on your own and you can go for the overall rank, but the chances are you're never going to get anywhere near that. But like, it's the rivalries you got with other people. It's the stories that you can tell and like the adversity, and like with me and Simon Bellamy, like a couple of seasons ago, where he was like 200 points ahead of me going into the last 10 game weeks or so. The fact that I was able to catch those points, like that was for me was more exciting than where I finished. Like the fact that I was catching him was the thrill of the game, and that's where the game gets its that's for me. That's where the pure enjoyment of the game is. Right, it's the people that play the game with you, and if you can get an environment where you get to meet these people and talk to them either via Twitter Spaces, like in your case, or in a Discord, or in a forum, or in a, in just any other platform that allows that social engagement, I think that's where the magic really happens, and that's why I think our community is the way our community is. It's because that's where the magic kind of starts.
Can I just say a little story as well? So I had this mini league with friends that I had for a few years, and I was near the top of it. A lot of them were casuals, but this one guy had a team name called Podgy Fingers. I didn't know who.
Uh-oh. Is he gone for you, Stevie?
No, I can hear him. I can hear him loud and clear.
Just tell him to hang on with the story. Just tell him to hang on with that story, and I'll just
hold on to the story, Andy. You've gone for a second.
You've disappeared off of the screen.
While Jason sorts that out, I'll just read out a few comments here. Fire Talk with a very amusing one saying, "Don't just come on, don't come on Hangouts when you've had 12 arrows. You're going to get no sympathy." Fire Talk. When I was in the Hangouts the other day, hearing the way individuals were screaming, well, specifically One Life Soccer screaming and shouting about Zinchenko, I think I'm going to avoid it full stop. But sorry, Andy, you were.
Yeah, tell me about Podgy Fingers. I want to know about Podgy Fingers now.
Podgy Fingers. I mean, it's just we met a few months ago, and for about 5 years, we had a mutual friend. We were always in the same mini league, competing against one another. He's a good FPL player. I think myself was quite a good FPL player. We never met, but then we did meet a few months ago. It was like, "You're Podgy Fingers," and he's like, "You're Morris Dancers." I was like, "Yes." And even though we didn't like each other, based on the fact we're just trying to mini leagues, like you have this mutual understanding, and then you just get to know each other, and it's like you're like me. This is brilliant, and most people in the community are. We play this silly game, but even though we're competitive, we shouldn't take it too seriously, and we should be there for one another because we're all humans. Yeah.
Absolutely, we're all humans, and everyone's at the same level, especially in our Discord. And the fact is that there's no coincidence that the FPL community is growing each year. There's no coincidence that we're getting more and more YouTube channels, more and more Twitter accounts, Twitter activity and spaces. Like, it's growing every single year, and that's because of the community itself. It's fostering that relationship with others, and it's just going to get so big that one day, it's going to be on mainstream TV. Like, they're going to talk about FPL more and more and more as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We're already seeing players talk about it. We're talking about pundits talking about it. I just think that it's just we're nowhere near the peak.
Well, the biggest level
it's
at
going to
the
get
moment is it's on 5 Live. So they do a show once a week.
Yeah.
On 5 Live. I have no idea what the numbers are for it, but I'm assuming the fact that it's on 5 Live is going to be a significant number.
Yeah.
And like you quite rightly say, and I say this a lot, it will happen one day. It will be on mainstream, like as you just said, TV. It will. Could you
imagine, like, as the game's being played, like, do you know when they get the infographics coming up for players? Do you think in the bottom left corner it would be telling you what their current points are in the game, like fantasy points, like silly things like that? Like, do you think that could you see that in the future maybe, or like the commentators saying, like if there's not much going on in the game, the commentary might say, well, currently Trent's on 3 bonus points if you play fantasy football. Like, I could see that happening.
Jason, I think it could be as much as an actual streaming service, and people pay. Yeah.
Like a voiceover, or even maybe an alternative commentary. Even that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And I think I'd like to see a dedicated FPL channel.
Yeah.
That you can actually pay money, and like you have people discussing FPL all day. Yeah. And I think they'd be popular eventually. Give it a few years.
Yeah, because people consume it. Like I would say FPL is one of these weird things that. There's not many things in life that I've seen like FPL. Like, there are people that will watch FPL content all day, and
guilty.
Like religiously, like, and a lot of it is repetitive. But they watch it because they just want to hear opinions, right, from other people, lots of different other people, and they want to understand their thought processes and how it ties in with others. Because we're a collective species, right? We network and we want to kind of get confirmation on our own thoughts and feelings, and we want to hear it from other people. And yeah, this is like one of the really weird sort of like things that I see people like to spend a lot of their time just garnishing and like just absorbing. Like you'll see people watching Black Box, and then they'll switch on to Andy, and then they'll switch on to us, and then they'll switch on to Harry, and then they'll go through like hours and hours and hours. Because we don't do short streams. We go, like the guys in the chat now, we don't do a short stream. We've already gone over an hour already. But people don't bat an eyelid to it. They could be washing up. They could be cleaning their car. They could be
100%. Jason. I mean, I spend my life if I'm not sat down watching TV or sport, I am consuming FPL content. If I'm walking the dog, down the gym, commuting, cleaning, washing, anything, I'm consuming FPL content.
And then every now and again, you'll just think, that's an idea. Why didn't I think of that player? And then you'll be like, straight over to your laptop or your tablet or your phone, and you'll be like, all right, swap him for him. And like, that's when the tinkering begins, right? And that's, especially this time of year, before the season starts, it's like, it's a hotbed for like, swapping out your team on a regular basis. I know. Going back, I mean, the point is the community is what makes FPL so great, and should we get on another caller, guys?
Well, just before, just a question for you specifically, Andy. Podner, hey. He says, what do you do to get the most returns per week from your team? What tactics do you use to get the most returns from your team?
I'm a very patient manager, and I don't think you can have the most optimal team every week. But I think over a period of weeks, you can try and make it so you're not falling behind. You can have specific players in there for blocks of 3 or 4 and go, right, keep them in there. Don't knee-jerk too quickly. Don't be impulsive. And the points will come to you because you believe in the quality of player over a period of time. You've made that pick for a reason.
Yeah, you come across as a guy that's more of an eye test rather than stats. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, you would be right, yeah.
Yeah, how much football do you consume per week? Are you subscribed to all the channels?
I am, yeah. I am subscribed to all the channels. I do spend the money on that. I watch all the live games that are on TV. Unless I'm working. August is tough, but apart from that, it's okay. All the live games. I haven't got a family, so that's easier. And I'll watch highlights. It's like match of the day and stuff like that. But I've coached teams as well previously, so I've actually done some coaching, football coaching, for 10 years. So that I think my knowledge of football is quite good. So I trust myself.
You trust your gut. You trust your eye test. And the heat maps don't mean anything to you if they're just running. If they're running in the danger area, that's one thing. But if they're actually doing, the things you're looking for, that's what holds the most weight, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
I'm inclined to be the same. Really, I try and watch football when I can. Obviously, highlights. Nothing beats actually watching the game and seeing the entirety of the game. But I don't rely on stats. I don't think I shock anyone with that statement.
I do look at stats. I wouldn't say I don't look at stats, but I don't think it's the most important thing. I think for me, it's fixtures is first, all the time. You know if a team's got a good run of fixtures coming up, and you know who the key player of that team is. So people like Neto, people like Tony, I like those picks because for 3 or 4 weeks you've got the main guy from that team with good fixtures, and often if you see it through, even if the blank on the first time, just see it through. You'd expect the points to come in, and have a plan in place is often the thing that I go to quite a lot.
Yeah, agreed. We're a bit pushed for time, but we will try and get through as many calls as we can.
Fire. Let's go quick fire.
Yeah.
One question.
I think we'll do the order. So Ginge will be first, and then Nuclear Atoms, then Cage Pat. Oh, he's gone. Oh, you brought in Ben. That's good.
Yeah, put Ginge in. Yeah.
And then it'll be Cage Pat. So FPL Ginge, hello there.
Thank you for waiting.
Come on, Ginge. We know you know how to use the function. There we are. There's words.
Words of wisdom.
Oh,
he hasn't got Sinestra in his team anymore.
No, because he's injured.
Well, no, but
actually, Andy, you're this Sinestra or whatever his name is.
He was injured when you came on last time.
Sinistera.
Sinistera. Talk to us. Is Ginge mental for bringing him in his team?
He got him in his team now.
He is because he's injured at the moment. He had an injury pre-season. I don't think he was in the squad tonight. We had I saw the result 1-0 against Cagliari. Rodrigo scored the goal. I don't think he was in the squad, and I don't think it's going to be like touch and go with his fit for Gameweek 1. He's a good player, a good attacking player. He's 6.5 for a reason. I think he's going to get good minutes and play as in the 3 behind Bamford if it goes that way.
What is his injury? Sorry,
6.5, which I think.
Sorry. What is his What do we know? What his injury is? Like, is it something that's going to take a bit of time to?
No, it's touch and go with the start.
I think it's nothing mad.
He pulled up with I think it was a hamstring.
Right.
In a friendly.
Someone will in chat.
He came off, and
yeah,
I think it's more precautionary, but I don't think he's going to be completely ready.
That's it.
Okay, well, Ginge, your team does look very similar to Andy's. Double Spurs attacks, Son and Kane. Diaz, the Liverpool double up in defence. What's the question for Andy?
Who do you reckon the best midfielder is for a 6.5 to a 6 mil bracket without it being Martinelli?
Okay, Andy, who do you think's the best 6 to 6.5 midfield option other than Martinelli?
Slim pickings, isn't it?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
Well, we talked about Eriksen, we talked about Rashford, but
I wouldn't say not Eriksen at all. Not Eriksen.
Rashford is off form for me massively, so it's a big punt. Bruno Guimaraes was in a few teams earlier on in the season, or the pre-season, I should say. Bruno Guimaraes, 6 million.
Again, I don't. Not overlooking.
Well, you've got Wilson in your team.
Yeah, Wilson. He's the star forward.
But still, I think Newcastle will be attacking. I think Bruno could cause some issues. Lingard, 6 million for Forest.
Yeah, I would go down a bit. I mean,
Maximan.
5.5 for Aronson is decent. With Leeds fixtures. If you go down a little bit more, 5.5.
5 million for Bailey. I mean, there is slight rotation risk there, but I mean, for the price point, 5 million could be worth it.
5 mil for Almiron.
I think I'd go under.
Almiron?
I wouldn't be touching Almiron. I mean, I said Bruno Guimaraes. I wouldn't be going with Almiron.
5 goals in pre-season. I mean,
yeah, it depends how much faith you want to go in with Newcastle, I suppose. Like, in order for Newcastle, it starts with Wilson, and then I would probably argue Bruno would be just slightly under that 6 million midfield. How much is Almiron?
5 mil.
5.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he's a bit more of a punt than Bruno, but for 5 million, that's not a bad price point. I didn't realize. I thought it was more than 5 million. But 5 million, that's cheap. I think. Do you guys agree? Do you guys think that Almiron's cheap for 5 million?
He doesn't score though. He doesn't do anything. I mean, if he matches his potential, then we're talking a bargain. But
no, he was getting more attacking returns at the end of the season. Definitely.
Okay.
He could be one to watch. Almiron. It'll like pre-season, like you said, he's not. How many goals he had pre-season? Do you say 6?
5.
5 goals pre-season. I mean, if he carries some form into the start of the league, I mean, fixtures for Newcastle are, we got Greens, pretty much, Forest, Brighton, bar Man City and Liverpool. They've got brilliant fixtures. So Almiron's not Almiron could be on people's radars for definite if he gets.
Could be an easy switch, Bailey to Almiron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
No worries.
There's
Who we getting next?
I think Nuclear Atoms is up next.
Nuclear Atoms, how's it going? Bruce says Dwight McNeil's the best 5.5 out there, hands down.
He came in at 5.5, did he? One to watch.
Atoms, you there?
Atoms, you got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. No, he's missed his opportunity, Jace.
Let's get Fluke on. I don't think we haven't spoke to him before. Fluke, how's it going?
Hello.
There
we go. That's how you work it.
Welcome to Discord. Are you new?
Yeah, I'm new here. Never been on it before.
Oh, awesome. Well, welcome. And have you got your team posted, or have you got a question you want to ask?
Yeah, it's the bottom one, my team.
Awesome. Liverpool fan?
Edison
in goal. So you've got Edison in goal. And we talked earlier on about Edison. We don't think that there's that much value maybe in him over, say, the likes of Mendy. Obviously, you got James there already. Got Mahrez. I like that. I like the team, to be honest. It's not a bad team at all.
Yeah, Edison and James are my only 2 doubts. Don't really like Edison as a 5.5 option purely because he's not going to get much bonus points.
Yeah.
So I've just got him in there as a set and forget to get some sort of Man City defence. But I could downgrade him to Meslier and then get Cancelo instead of James. Because I don't really trust Chelsea either. That's the only 2 changes I like thinking of. I did have Cash in my team, but Zinchenko's a lot better.
I think that's a good switch, personally. Interested to see what Andy thinks. What is your question anyway? Sorry, I just went straight into that. What is your question? Do you have a question?
Didn't have a question, but Núñez or Haaland for the season, obviously not for FPL, but in general as a striker.
Haaland for the season.
Is that what we're saying?
As well, I'm leaving room for others to speak.
I think Haaland has proven at international level and at Borussia Dortmund that he's just the king of goal scoring. I know he didn't have the greatest game yesterday, but he's going to be playing the majority of Man City fixtures. He'll get more and more used to the system being played and everything. But he's going to score a minimum of 15 goals in the Premier League.
Easy.
Núñez, on the other hand, I'm not going to profess to know anything about him whatsoever. He seems to have fitted into the system. Yeah, he looks very good. He seems to have fitted into the system very, very well at Liverpool. That's what they really, really do very, very well. They recruit absolutely amazingly to fit into Klopp's 4-3-3. It's almost going to be a 50-50, but from a bias point of view, I just think Haaland, Man City, guaranteed minutes.
When you say biased, you're pretty much a Liverpool fan this year, aren't you? Because obviously Burnley not being in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So from an unbiased point of view.
From an unbiased point of view, yeah, I'm going to go Haaland. Andy, what do you reckon? Núñez or Haaland? Who's going to do better?
I mean, the good thing about Haaland, and I think you'll see it just before the World Cup and afterwards. He's not going to the World Cup, so he's got that 5-week break in the middle of the season to recharge the batteries, rest up, and go again from the start. I think he'd just absolutely smash it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Haaland get 25 goals and be
in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah. honestly, you think he's not going to get 25 goals?
I think most in the Premier League 20 in the Premier League.
No, come on, 25. No.
25. Well, to be fair, I mean, the service is going to be there from De Bruyne, Mahrez, Foden. I mean, he's the best. I would say he's the best poacher in the league.
God, you're going to say that after his miss in the Community League?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
The best poacher, but he misses from 2 yards.
Every top player has got howlers on their resume, right? It's how you deal with it. Like if the next game he goes into a shell.
You've just answered it. How did he deal with it after he missed? He just smiled, laughed it off, and was just it's just one of those.
Yeah,
what can I do?
It's one of those days.
I mean, you see these memes of like Haaland and Lukaku. No, I'm not having that.
No, I think that he's got potential to hit 25 goals. Yes, I guess we're just having to wait and see how he's gonna kind of get up to speed in that Man City system. Whether it's going to take him a few, 3 or 4 games to get fully fit and able to kind of play with the players. Really, I mean, I suspect that was just a blip, and I think that he's going to hit the ground running. Is my gut feeling. So, yeah, Haaland for me. Thank you for the question. And thank you for coming on.
Would you say
cheers,
Haaland's
pleasure.
200 points this season or not?
200 points from Haaland.
Whenever people say points, I'm always like, I don't know. This is going to sound ridiculous for someone that's played for 10 years. I never know what that means. How many points is this? Like you mentioned earlier on that Van Dijk is going to get 160, 180 points. I never know what that means. So last year, for argument's sake, from a striker point of view, Harry Kane got 192. Haaland,
he had a poor season.
There are going to be moments where Haaland gets those hat-tricks against the likes of Bournemouth, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, Southampton, and so on and so forth. I'm predicting he'll get a hat-trick against Bournemouth. Certainly a minimum of 2 goals. I agree with you, Andy. I think Haaland to get close to 200 points would not surprise me whatsoever. It's just a case of when do we have the confidence to bring him in? Because, like I said, that Community Shield didn't really encourage too much for me to go, I want him now. Kevin De Bruyne was. Harry Kane at the moment.
Yeah, that's going to be the key, is to when to get Haaland to catch his horse, isn't it?
Well, for me, said it a million times. City at home to these terrible teams are always going to score a minimum of 3. And then you've got to go, okay, then, well, yeah, the points are going to get, the goals and assists are going to be shared around, but you'd like to think the main guys of it are going to be KDB, whoever the striker is in this case, Haaland, and then will the likes of Mahrez, Foden, Silva jump in with the odd assist here or there, maybe Cancelo, Walker, maybe even like Laporte. I know he's injured at the moment, but one of the centre-backs. I mean, Ake is somebody who is potentially being overlooked. He's somebody that's got a lot of goal threat. And does he start the season, Andy?
Yeah, I think with the injuries they've got, the back four that played yesterday is starting game week 1, I think. And Ake from set pieces. Yeah, I mean, when you look at set pieces, it's Ake, Diaz, and Rodri is the target.
Yeah.
And Ake's great in attacking set pieces. He did it at Bournemouth. He's great. Yeah.
Agreed.
Short term, Ake, why not?
Yeah. Completely back that. Should we get on Cage Paps, Jace?
Yeah, thank you again, Fluke, for coming on.
Yes, cheers, dude.
Cage Paps. I've got to say, first of all, Cage Paps, for your amazing, you and Paulie, just gifting out them in memberships left, right, and centre. Thank you so much.
Yeah, first of all, it's a bit weird because I'm listening to the waiting room, we're having a conversation there, and also Andy can't hear us, is my understanding.
No, he can hear you. He can hear you. I don't think you can hear him, though.
Right. So my question was, I've spoken to Andy actually a few times on Spaces. I agree that I think that was a really good place that we could have conversation that people also didn't think, who's this account? It was generally open. And certainly early on with Ducky's Spaces were very good. And I tried to actually get Elite FPL to do more Spaces, which we did do one time. I thought it was quite useful. But my question is...
Would Spaces, in your opinion, suit our style?
Tonight, occasions like tonight, it would definitely be more open for questions, but also at the same time, the fans of Elite FPL probably would get pushed away from all Andy's fans. He'd have much more of a following.
Yeah, because I always look at Spaces as drawing. Obviously, it's all very well, but we want people to watch us on YouTube, right? We want people to engage with us on YouTube in the chat, so we can read out the chats, what's going on, and obviously the Discord is also something that which we hold really. We really love the Discord. So if we were to go to Spaces, then we're almost shifting off of Discord, going to Spaces. For a lot of Discord right now, there will be people in that Discord that don't watch our show. They'll just be in a Discord because they like the FPL conversation that's in there. So if we were to move to Spaces, are we completely disconnecting from our Discord? So our Discord would be one thing and our show would be completely separate. So that's another thing that goes on.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I just think Spaces has been quite nice that it's very accessible. It's open to everyone. That's been the kind of nice thing.
And maybe the answer is we don't want it to be open to absolutely everybody. We want it to be open to our audience. So maybe that's where we kind of differentiate. We forge our own little niche in the FPL world because we've got a close knit group of people that come every week or every day or every other day in some cases to kind of discuss with us. But yeah, I mean, you make a good point. I mean, Spaces, I know Spaces. I spend a lot of my life on Spaces, just not in an FPL capacity. Yeah. And I know they are very accessible. And I know they can gain, you can really gain a large audience on Spaces for definite.
Well, I'll very quickly finish on the Space point because I know people were saying it's quick fire that in the waiting room they wanted to get in, so I don't want to take too much time. But I've spoken to the likes of Mark Sutherland, which is Steve was a big fan of. In Spaces, you've got such a huge audience on Twitter. You get to speak to all these accounts that you normally would never give you the time of day, not because they don't want to, but like Andy will know that he's inundated with replies to his tweets, and he can't reply to them all. But when you get into a space, you can have a conversation. And it's pretty cool from that perspective. But I do have. So my question is, Andy's had a bad start to a season before. He knows what it's like, but he did it in a very public way. So my question is this the year, though? Is this a season that, because we know we've got these 3 wildcards, so we've got to use a wildcard before the World Cup, and then we get this unlimited transfer. Is this the time, more than ever, when everyone's on a 100 million budget, all things are equal, is this the time to go aggressive and to do what we think of Andy Martin is to do those dangerous picks? Maybe I'm not going to say no-Salah, but is it do those differential picks, get them in and out, try and get those points, try and get that step ahead?
Yes, I do think that if you are able to, I think if you're able to live with your decisions, and what I mean by that is, like, we have people after one game week that say, I'm going to quit FPL because it's gone bad, and they're just completely dramatic, over dramatic. Like, if you're going to make a punt or 2 punts or 3 or 4 points in your team, you're going to have you can have risks. There's risks that come with being different to others or to the majority of people out there. If you can live with your decisions and say, you know what, if things don't go right, yeah, I didn't score very well this week, but you know what, I considered everything. I knew the risks before I went into the game week, and you know what, I'm fine with that. I can live with that because I weighed everything up. If you can say that, I think that puts you in a much better position than someone that's just going to try and overthink things and switch too much too soon. I think yes, because we've got the early wild card, we've got 63 wild cards this year. I think that you can go aggressive. You can make some real punty picks in the start of the season and like kind of attack from the beginning. And I would admire people for doing that. I don't want people to completely destroy their team and start going for real crazy combinations that of low so I still think that half your team at least needs to be heavily owned, but you do want to be going for 3 or 4 sort of kind of outside picks that can get you those points to get you those positions in your mini leagues. I mean, the captaincies are going to be common, right? You're going to be looking at Salah, you're going to be looking at Kane, you're going to be looking at Son. I mean, so you're probably going to have one of those in your team anyway, right? So, yeah, I think why not attack the day? I mean, I get the feeling that Andy probably in his mind probably would somewhat agree, and Steve-O, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts too.
For me, totally. I think I'm going against Salah. I don't think Salah's a bad player. I don't think I was going to get blanks every time. I just want to go against it because if he does, then my rank is going to be huge.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I mean, Salah's
and all
great.
the people that have got Salah, if you think of the risk versus reward, there's so much more upside. There's so much more reward. For me.
Yeah, completely right. You can go against it because the moment he blanks, and I've experienced this at the end of last season when I didn't own him, the moment he blanks and your alternative goes off is such a big rank increase.
Yeah.
It's better than the downside of it.
It's a rocket. You get a rocket of a green arrow.
Yeah. And I know that I could be 10k game week 1, well not 10k, but 100k game week 1 or 6 million game week 1 with that Salah. But I'm prepared to go with it because I want to try and win FPL.
Yeah, and you can certainly gain more than what you lose for the following week after that if he blanks when your captain goes mad, because the amount of people that will be keeping their captaincy on Salah. So, it goes back to my point. Don't assess your team on a 1 week performance. If game week 1 doesn't go to plan, don't need to rip up your team. You can have the ability to wildcard after game week 4, game week 5, whatever.
Yeah.
So you've got a plan. Stick to it. If you're going to be different, then stick to it.
The winner of FPL last season,
I didn't have Bruno for his hat
he
trick.
breached 1 million.
1 second. Start again, Paps. Start again, Paps. Start your point again. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I have to unmute YouTube to hear Andy, so I don't need to put any five. So the winner of FPL last season, he breached top 1 million. He was out of the top 1 million, and he clawed it back, which I think everyone on this call, and myself included, and a lot of people in this chat would think if they were out of the top 1 million, they're going to think their season's over. And they're going to start doing things to try and fight back and get there, and potentially do overthink things and do silly decisions. But he clawed it back, and it's only his 4th season playing FPL.
Yeah.
Because he probably didn't think these things through. So
all is not lost. Game week 1.
Yeah, so game week 1, is this the time to do it? And is anyone in this call actually going to do the no-Salah? Really, really, truthfully, is it going to do no?
There'll be people.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, I'm not going to have Salah in my team. So
Andy, there's 2 people in.
I've said straight away, like from early on in preseason, I'm not having Salah in my team. Like, people can say what they want in chat. People can say what they want. I don't care. I'm not having him in my team.
Yeah, I'm not either.
And I'm gonna be smiling with my captaincy pick. I'm happy with my captaincy pick.
Yeah. Game week 1 last year, when Bruno got a hat trick, game week 1, I was 3 millionth in the world after game week 1 on 79 points, and people were saying to me, "You have to get Bruno in. The damage has already been done, but you can minimise the damage, get him in." And I didn't believe his value, and I didn't go with him.
Yeah,
but it's still recoverable. You don't panic after game week 1.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You're still gonna be questioning yourself. You are, but it's all about the mindset. It's about the plan, sticking to the plan, and reminding yourself what you thought going into the season. Yeah.
You spent the whole summer thinking about this game week 1.
Yeah.
When deadline comes, it's kind of out of your control, but you've made the decisions and you've spent hours and hours deciding it. Don't beat yourself up.
Suddenly you're going to make a decision in 5 minutes, and then you're going to make a decision in 5 minutes, and then you're going to, if it goes wrong, you're going to hate yourself.
But can you be too stubborn? Did he feel like he was too stubborn in that sense, and he held back from taking in Bruno?
I mean, you can be too stubborn if you're completely ignoring obvious better players that are outperforming your players. Yes, you can be stubborn if you leave it for so long because you just don't want to make that transfer because you just don't want to get a higher owned player. Yes, you can, but I think we're kind of looking at a sort of a mini time frame here of like certainly the first 3 or 4 weeks, where you're going to see people taking -4s, -8s to get onto bandwagon players, and their teams aren't bad, right? Their teams aren't at all bad, and they've spent so much time preparing them. Why are they doing that? Chasing points, looking maybe for price rises, yes, but it completely rips apart all of the hours and hours of preparing for the season, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Steve-o? Yeah, I mean,
I don't think much I can add, to be honest with you. I think you and Andy summed it up brilliantly.
Thank you, Paps, for coming on.
There he is. He's gone. He's got to listen on the old.
Yeah. I'm mindful of the time. My wife is going to be messaging me, asking me where I am. So I want to say that we probably should wrap up, Steve-o, and say a massive thank you to Andy.
Yeah, absolutely, Andy. It's been genuinely an absolute pleasure. We've got to do this again another time.
Yeah,
because this was...
I just want to say as well, I mean, the community you've got is brilliant, and I wouldn't go to Spaces personally because this is your community. You've got the Discord channel, you've got this stream, and it's people are having friends. And if you go to Spaces, I think you can go in Spaces and it'd be a success because you guys chat good stuff. But I think you'll lose the core of the community that you have. Yeah,
I mean, we've been doing this for what, Steve, how long?
It's come up to 4 years. Yeah.
4 years we've been doing this roughly, and we haven't changed a great deal. Like, to be honest, we've got closer to our community. We've got closer to the chat. I don't read all of the things that I see out loud, but I read every single person, what they're writing in the chat. And the great thing is they're talking to each other as well as us. And, we wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I would rather be on the stream with 100 people watching, 126 people watching, than in a space with 3 or 4 of us on, and 1,000 people just, I like our community is what I'm saying. I see the same names every single time, and the fact that we have that sort of link with the Discord so nicely, I think it ties in so well. And these call-in shows are the bread and butter, right? They're what makes this channel so good. Not me, not Steve-O. It's the people that are part of the community. So thank you.
Yeah,
and
I'd love to come on for a watch along on like a Sunday afternoon or something.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You'd have to, I mean, more than welcome to, man. Absolutely more than welcome to. And I've got my Now TV, like, which I call Den TV because it's like normally 3 or 4 minutes behind it. Everyone else that's on Sky, but yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, when you get those Sunday fixtures after European Thursday nights, and you get 6 2 p.m. fixtures,
amazing, yeah,
they're so good. So I do tune in, even if I don't say anything in the chat. I enjoy Steve getting angry, disappointed. It's good to watch. So yeah.
Oh, we definitely have to have you on. Thank you so much again, Andy, and thank you for your support over the years that you've given us. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you again very soon. Keep an eye out on socials and Discord. We'll post when we're next live.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, and make sure to jump into Discord if you haven't been in there already. Wave, Steve-O.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.